Okay, I know we said we were going to start this particular video at the command line or work with NTP and the command line. Uh, I'm not a total liar because we are on the command line right now, but we're actually going to do a little CCP lab here first with NTP. And some of you who are watching the course who are in the pre-sales program, this may be the first time you've seen CCP. So if it is, this will be a good introduction. I'm not going to go through all the install and the commands on the router and that kind of thing. There's going to be a totally separate section for that. So just trust in me right now that we will do a complete install of that later, but I want to show you around that a little bit. Now this is a router I'm using CCP to configure. And I've run a couple of commands here. There's show clock and show NTP status and show NTP associations, and that basically is showing that we don't have anything going on with NTP right now. We're totally unsynchronized, and we're not even trying to talk to a master router. So let's see. Let's go ahead and bring up CCP here right now. And again, if this is your first time seeing it, it's very intuitive, very easy to work with. I've already discovered the router that we're looking at in the telnet window, the console window as well. And everything's good there. You know, we could click on router status and get a little information there. There's the model type, the amount of available and total memory, flash capacity, your iOS version, your image, and your host name. I'm going to show this to you probably a couple times throughout the course because it's really easy to overlook. We're so used to seeing, you know, like a green light for something that's enabled and maybe a red for something that isn't working properly and then an amber for something in the middle. You want to watch these because what we have here with feature availability is we have green dots and then we have green with a check mark inside. If you see green with a check mark inside, that means that the feature is available and enabled. If you just see the green, it's available, but it hasn't been enabled yet. And that's a very important detail, obviously, so really watch that one. And we'll revisit CCP quite a bit through the entire course. And again, we've already got this one discovered, and we're going to configure it with CCP. And all you do to do that, we've got a highlighted router, and just click Configure up here. And again, if you don't know exactly where something is in CCP, it's even easier to find than it was in Security Device Manager. And that was kind of the predecessor to CCP. It's a GUI that's no longer being supported by Cisco. It's end of life. And it was all over the previous security exam. And if you clicked around enough, you could find things. Well, here you really don't have to click around much at all. Even if you start with just interface management, router, and security, because if we click on security just to look around before we do some NTP, you can see here's your firewall, here are your firewall zones. We've got VPN information here, plenty of that, site to site, easy VPN, remote and server. Let's see, PKI, we've got all kinds of information here, router certificate, certificate authority server, and so forth. So we'll be spending plenty of time with that in other videos. But right now let's go up to router. And right under time, where you would expect it to be, we've got date and time, and we've got NTP and SNTP. And let's say that we wanted to add a router, and I've got actually a router I've added to our network at 10113 that has been configured as an NTP time server. So let's just go ahead and click, and here's your default. And the default is, of course, we don't have any NTP servers. And we've got a list for server IP address, interface, prefer, key number, and key value. And all you do is click add because, of course, at the beginning, that's all that's going to be enabled here. You can't edit or delete anything. And it's really just this simple. You've got to enter the address or the host name. And we're going to go with the address, 10113. And the prefer option, if you have multiple servers and you want to prefer one over the others, then obviously you just put a check mark right here and the system's going to try to get its time, or your router's going to try to get its time from the preferred device before it tries the other ones. Ntp Source Interface, please note, is an optional field. I could put fast00 here because that is actually the source interface, but I don't have to put that. And authentication key, I do not have authentication set up in this lab, but if I did, I'll just click there and those three fields become enabled. And it's key number, key value, and confirm key value. We know we're going to have to do that, right? So let's go ahead and uncheck that and see what happens when we click OK. First the error flashes a bit, and then we get this. And if you use Security Device Manager, and if you didn't, don't worry about it. But if you did, this window looks familiar, because this tool is not just going to start putting commands on your router without showing you, hey, here's what we're going to deliver. And right now the commands NTP update calendar and NTP server 10113 are going to be written to the router. It mentions to you that the differences between the running and startup config are lost whenever the device is turned off. A little helpful reminder there. And also note that if you want to go ahead and save the running config to the device's startup config, you can just check that box and that'll happen for you. It does mention this operation can take several minutes, of course, depending on how long that config file is. We're not going to do that, but what I am going to do is click Deliver. And if you looked very closely, you can see that status bar going across, because you can see in there it says preparing commands for delivery, submitting 2 commands, please wait, and then configuration delivered to device. Since we're only writing 2 commands, that's done so quickly that the status bar pretty much just went from left to right. But some configurations that we come up with later, I would wager, will be a lot more than 2 commands, say VPNs. We're going to have a lot of commands when we use this for a VPN. So then the status bar would obviously go a little slower, but you just click OK. And this is interesting that under prefer, instead of just saying nothing, it actually says false, since we did not prefer this particular server. So we've got a server IP address of 10113. We didn't list the interface, and we did not put authentication on. Now let's go back to the router itself and see. And look at that, just that quickly, we're already synchronized. Clock is synchronized, stratum is 9, reference is 10113, which is exactly where we said the router was. So this is pretty quick. Again, just a gentle reminder, the larger your network, the longer it's going to take NTP to sync up, and it can take up to 15 minutes according to Cisco's website. And let's run show NTP association. And there you have it, 10113, and again, we're always looking for that synced. And we have master synced, and it's really just that quick to use CCP to do that. Excuse the football picture there. The Richmond Spider is coming out of the tunnel. And let's see, so we've got that all done. Let's go back to CCP. And let's look at date and time. Just want to show this to you. You'll notice that it says device time source NTP. It could also say hardware clock if it was indeed getting it from the local hardware clock. And if you set it manually or sync up with your PC, it's going to reflect that here as well. Now you ask, how do you do that? Well, click Change Settings. And check this out. This is great. The router's clock is already in sync with an NTP server. The date and time manual settings you're going to apply would not be effective. Pretty cool, huh? So it actually tells us if we want to set our own date and time, please disable NTP first. I've said this for years. This is one of the things I really like about Cisco routers and switches and their GUIs, is that if you're going to do something that's not going to be effective 99 out of 100 times, they're going to mention it. But I tell you what I'll actually do here before we start the next lab is take NTP off of here. Oh, actually, here it is. It's going to display it to you anyway. It's just telling you, hey, it's not going to be effective. If you did not have NTP enabled, obviously, you could sync it up with your local PC clock. And you just click the radio button there, click synchronize, and it would give, it's not going to ask, are you sure? It would just sync it up. But apparently, of course, here with NTP, that's not going to work. Also, if you wanted to just set it to a certain date and time and use CCP to do that, you just do it right here, and there's your date, there's your month and year, and your time. Watch out for that. It's a 24-hour clock. You can also set your time zone just by clicking the drop-down box, going through there and picking up the right one. And I would leave this checked. That is by default, you notice, and usually things aren't checked like that in a GUI by default, but automatically adjust clock for daylight savings changes is enabled by default. So that's a good look at the date and properties, and also the window that you're going to get if you're already running NTP. So that really is it for CCP right now and NTP. It's just that simple. It's not a complex protocol. And what we're going to do, I'll go ahead and erase the configs here, take a little bit of a break. And on the next video, we will run NTP from the command line, because there are a couple of things I want to show you about the clock command in particular. So I'll see you on the next vid. Let me guess, that didn't record. Oh, all the things, really?